What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Assassin 4. Man, it's a wonderful day, man, because boom, 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 boom. It's your boy's birthday today as we recording this joint.
Get your shit off.
Yeah.
Virgo, let's
Happy
get it, baby.
birthday. Happy birthday.
It's Virgo season, man. We already know how we about to be active during this time of the year. Matter of fact, should most of us Virgos in this damn room for real, for real.
Talk that shit.
Shout out to my boy Cino. You coming up soon, man.
Yeah,
Then,
big Virgo energy in this bitch right now. Y'all know what it is.
then we got 910's finest, another Virgo, my boy BT.
Yes, sir. September Virgo, let's get it.
And then he's not a Virgo, but man, don't get it confused, man. He's still one of the best out here in this game right now, man. Welcome back to the pod, our boy D Dr. Esquire Day. What's good with you, Panther?
What's up, man? I'm back, ready to just talk some shit, talk some football. I may have some bars. I don't know. Whatever comes out, I just hope we don't get banned. You know what I'm saying?
So for our viewers that have been hanging with us since day one, usually once we get into football season, we do an episode breaking down the different divisions on both sides of the AFC and the NFC. But life be lifing, the bros, we all had to take some stuff on the business and on the personal end. Shit, some of us like me and our boy T, we was just on vacation, man. We ain't just had the time. We was out there making sure we get some international content for y'all. So today we just gonna put everything together, man. We just gonna talk about the whole football landscape, man. Cause just like for like the last couple of years, we got the same usual suspects contending for that Lombardi Trophy, man. And we might have some sleeper teams going on this year, but we're gonna try to break down and try and get to as many teams as possible that we deem may be relevant. Now, after this episode, those teams get surprise us, and then we might have to check in and say, "Hey, we was wrong. Y'all proving us wrong. Y'all having a better season than you thought." But let's get things started, man. So let's just get started with last year's division that hosted the MVP, the AFC East with the Buffalo Bills, man. You got them, you got the Dolphins, the Patriots, and then you got the New York Jets. I mean, we know the Patriots is a team that made a lot of free agency signings this year. It kind of looked like they did well in the draft this year. Sleeper pick with Travion Henderson. They was able to pick him up in the second round. They got BT's boy Campbell as the offensive tackle to help Drake Maye to make sure that he's protected. But again, Josh Allen is your runner-up, is your reigning MVP. So even with all these additions to the Patriots, still got Dolphins in the mix. We still got the New York Jets. Is this still to lose, y'all, or can somebody, come and throw them like the new upstart Patriots, or will Miami make some noise this year, or the Jets even going to be relevant this year? Like, is this going to be an easy Bills cakewalk in this division?
Cakewalk. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I just see cakewalk.
I see it like this. I think obviously the Bills are the standard for the division. What they just gotta do what worked well for them last year, and those things were running the football, not playing mistake free as possible, not turning the ball over. Having a formidable defense may not be the best defense, but like because the year prior they lost a lot of players, so just being able to score a lot of points and then still have a defense that doesn't cancel that out. And Josh, and we can say maybe Josh Allen shouldn't have gotten MVP. It should have been Lamar Jackson. If the Bengals went to the playoffs, it probably should have been Joe Burrow. But Josh Allen had a better season than what we thought he would, just based on the weapons that he did last year. But I remember we said something about this last year. I think T was one of the ones that brought it up. The lack of a wide receiver one, and last year they made a move to get Amari Cooper. He's now with the Raiders. I know they got some young guys in Shakir and Keon Coleman. They got a tight end combo with Kincaid and Knox, which really works well for them and what they're trying to do. When they get to the playoffs, can wide receivers create separation? Is there going to be somebody that's good enough that is able to step up to be able to be that true number one? But I still think even like with that particular flaw, they're the class of the AFC East. Now, what the thing that's most interesting to me, and as the GM enters the pod here, what's most interesting to me about the AFC is Dre, like you alluded to, the New England Patriots. How good are they actually going to be? Like Drake Maye did a lot with a little, in the time that he had last year. Now he has Stephon Diggs. Now he has the running back Hampton, right? And they had a solid draft. They drafted Campbell out of LSU, right? Yeah. So they've made like a lot of good moves. And Mike Vrabel is a hell of a coach. Especially as a former Patriot on those Super Bowl teams back in the 2000s. So and we saw what he was able to do with the Titans. He made it to an AFC Championship game. He was able to take them to the playoffs and be able to get at least a few wins during his time there. So we know what they can do. I just want to see if they're going to be able to live up to the bill. So that's going to be interesting. And I guess, yeah, go ahead.
Don't they got Diggs too?
Yeah, Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
Stephon Diggs is their wide receiver.
This is my thing. I don't think that this is going to be the year for them, but I do think that if you give them like 3 years, if that core can stay together and they can keep adding pieces, I think they overtake the Bills in about 2 years. That's my mindset.
I say 2 years. I say 2 years. They're that good. They're young. They're talented. I think if Drake Maye is really what he's supposed to be, I think they're good. And then also forget on defense, they got Christian Gonzalez as one of the better
time
DBs.
Right?
And I know they also got some other young players on that on the defensive side too. So that's something to look out for as well. So they're going to be good. I don't think they're going to be good enough to make the playoffs just because the AFC is just stacked like that.
They're going to be. I feel like they're going to be a team that it's going to take them to week 16, week 17 to see how compared. Like they're going to be either in the wild card race or they're going to be outside looking at. I think this is going to be a respectable team in my opinion. If we rating quarterbacks from last year, from the rookie class, of course, my boy Jane Dales was top notch, and then Bo Nix, he had a good season for the Broncos. But honestly, if you just looking at tape, Drake Maye looked really good for the Patriots when he became the starter over there, and it was just it was just a bad roster. So of course, they just try to on both sides of the ball just try to make that team overall better. So it's going to be interesting to see this team. I think they're going to play solid football. I think it might not be like the quote unquote Patriots way with Bill Belichick over there, but Patriots are just one of those franchises in sports where they kind of stick to a certain formula. They're not going to be really loud and boastful, even with players like wide receiver Stephon Diggs joining the team. They're going to try to play solid football and everything. They're going to be an interesting team to watch. If anyone can pull up their schedule real quick, just so I can see maybe their first month, their first 4-game first month into the season. But I think they're going to make that leap over the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to take a step back. And it's looking like they are halfway tuning out Mike Daniels. They're a finesse team. They got speed on the outside, but when it gets into those colder months and when it comes to those grind out games, they just don't have that. They don't have those big guys or guys that can really make a difference once they're not playing in Miami. And for what we know is with Miami, they're not really winning their division so they can get hope in the village. When it gets time, they got to go to places like Baltimore in January. They got to go to Kansas City, which we saw what happened with that in January, or Buffalo in January. Those are teams and cities that you're trying to avoid if you're a team like Miami. So, and then the Jets, it's the Jets, man. New coach. I'm just hoping Justin Fields stays healthy, man. I hope he not kind of changed the narrative of his story. But the story with this division is really what's the Bills going to look like contending for another trying to get in contention, try to get over the hump and make a Super Bowl appearance for Josh Allen, and what's the ceiling for this new makeup Patriots team this year. I think those are like the only two storylines coming out of that division this year.
Aaron Glenn gonna have the Jets defense right though. I do believe that, but I don't know. But offensive side of the ball, yeah, I hope Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson. I think they're gonna have a connection, but I just don't have a lot of confidence in them a lot.
My first hot take coming out of the division, and it's probably not even a hot take, but Breece Hall will be traded by the deadline.
I can see it.
Yeah.
The team could be dead in the water.
Jets need to work on that O-line. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Y'all know how I am. I call out an O-line in a heartbeat. That's their Achilles heel is gonna be.
Yeah.
All right, man. Going from the East, let's go to the AFC South real quick because that's another division where, there's a lot of question marks pretty much coming from all four teams. Put that sucker, I know it's the Texans. We got the Colts. We got the Jaguars. And then who else is it? And then the Titans. So, Titans, they got the number 1 pick, so they drafted my boy Cam Ward out of Miami. Jaguars, they drafted with the number 2 overall pick after trading up Travis Hunter, splitting between DB and wide receiver. Colts, hey, Corey, what I tell you, man? What I tell you, man?
It sucks to be a Colts fan right now. Just
what I tell you, man? And then you got the
you talking about Arch team? Right there, boy. Put it in the air.
Then we got the Houston Texans. I know we probably think this is Houston Texans division and win, but I will want to point out that they are dealing with a lot of question marks in that wide receiver room, and Joe Mixon is going to be out the first few weeks of this season because he's on the PUP list. Because Stephon Diggs is gone, Tank Dell had a horrific injury towards the end of the season last year, and then they just traded away John Mechie to the goddamn Eagles. So you already know I'm pissed about that. But staying in this division and staying with the Texans, they traded away Larry Tunsil to Washington. So they just giving everything away to the NFC East at this point. But we just want to, I guess, I kind of sad because like CJ Stroud's a great quarterback, and I hate to see that this might affect how the Texans start their season because it really is looking like because even the tight end Brevin Jordan is going to be hurt for the duration of the season. So they're dealing with a lot of question marks on our offensive ball. And then the defense, it's not the worst defense, but it's not a defense that's like, they're going to really like hold you to like 17, 21 points or anything like that. So this is a real interesting
it's a don't break defense.
Yeah, because when they go against teams like the higher echelon teams, like we saw when they played the Ravens twice last year, they just got the break speed off of them. They had no answer for Derrick Henry. They had no answer for Lamar Jackson. Honestly, they don't have an answer for Josh Allen. They don't have an answer for Patrick Mahomes and all them. Yeah. So
Joe.
it's like Texas. They still seem like that they still aren't that under tier from those other contending teams, but they do have one of the best QBs in the league in CJ Stroud. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But outside of Texas, is there any teams that y'all want think we should pay some credence to? Because this division kind of seems wide open with all these question marks with everybody.
I mean, you mentioned I can't Ward plays.
You read my mind. You read my mind, C-Note. You read my mind. I'm interested to see how he comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want to see how he starts. Like NFL, bright lights, he's number 1 overall pick. Is he going to live up to the bill of what me and Dre saw when he was in a Miami uniform for that season? Mm-hmm. And what we saw from him, even when he played in Washington, out there in the Pac-12 at the time, can he bring that type of electricity, that type of firepower to an NFL team that the Titans did struggle last year? And, they're kind of just in this weird rebuild scenario. So,
hey, Brad, you know what's kind of funny? Because this takes me back to last year's NBA draft when the Hawks had the number 1 pick and they drafted an old dude from France, Zach. I can't pronounce it. Yeah. Now, mind you, I feel like if we're talking athlete, Cam is probably a better. But I'm just talking about like the media, the noise, and everything. It seems like the noise out of the draft was more about like the Shador slide where certain highlight other players like Will Johnson slide, like all these people that slide. And so he really wasn't, as a number one overall pick, especially at the quarterback position, he really wasn't that talked out enough. Like if it came to QB, it was about Dylan Gabriel and the Shador story coming out of Cleveland. It was it was Jackson Dart for the New York Giants. It was
Travis Hunter.
The Travis Hunter was getting more press. Just is he going to play both ways?
Yeah.
That's what's most interesting to me. I want to see. He's not going to play like 100 snaps a game. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But because they need him more on the offensive side, just for the sake of Trevor Lawrence.
I think they're going to try to attempt it. But I think, and again, Travis can prove us wrong. I think Travis has to understand is we are not questioning your stamina. That's not what we're questioning. It's just you're dealing with bigger boys now. So when you get so like you getting tackle in college is not the same as you getting tackle in the NFL. It's going to be faster and more hard hitting players, and then you gotta have to try to take down bigger players than you're used to in college. Like it's not the running back that was like a 7th round pick coming out of the Big 12. You're gonna have to go against somebody like Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry has trucked bigger DBs than you already.
Even in his division, imagine trying to route up Derek Stingley and then on the other side trying to cover Nico Collins and doing that all in one game. Like just even in his division doing that, and then across.
And we saw, no, we saw in BT. No, we saw what happens when Travis got a lineup against a bigger wide receiver. That boy for Stanford. Because y'all boy at Carolina did him dirty too at Arizona.
That's why I said he's gonna try it against us because he's gonna want to get his face back. He's gonna ask for that matchup. I know he's gonna ask.
That's true.
But even if he asks for that matchup and they put him on Excel or Coker, they both 6'3".
Exactly.
And 200 pounds. So what you gonna do with that, bro?
It's gonna be interesting how he handles this NFL size, NFL speed.
We'll get to that wide receiver room in a minute, but
I know.
But it is going to be interesting to see. I feel like they could probably run him, I think, 60-40 as far as percentages, offense, defense. I think he's going to more be counted on to make big plays for Trevor Lawrence. And then the occasional spot defense, dime, nickel packages, dialing up some crazy stuff for him to do on the defensive side of the ball. But they got him to be that guy on the offensive side to give Trevor Lawrence some help. I feel like that's the reason why they went.
I think that's absolutely right because Trevor Lawrence top 5 paid QB and his playoff resume stinks. His overall regular season he's underperformed. He's not living up to his contract. He's not living up to the hype. They was calling him the next goddamn John Elway the way he won that championship his freshman year at Clemson. So he's kind of have been underwhelming this past couple of seasons since he had his playoff debut. So I really do expect, like I said, Travis Hunter to play more of the offensive side of the ball because I saw him. I know they got other wide receivers there. They're just not coming to my and I guess that's the problem. Like they don't have.
They got a dog, bro.
Yeah, they got Brian. My bad. No, that's on me. That's the birthday wave hitting me. That's the birthday. That's that birthday wave hitting me, man. But no. So I mean, we got to think about that.
I want to put this point out real quick about Cam Ward. It was announced earlier that he's going to be the captain for. No, like he's doing something right in practice. He's allowed the team to gather around him. He's became a leader already, and that's something that you really can't say a lot of. I remember when Cam Newton was a rookie, he was not a captain of the team. It took him, I think,
to his third year.
3 years, I think, for Cam
before he got that opportunity. So those things do happen. But yeah, he's taking a hold of that team, and I'm excited to see what he does with them.
AR-15 getting traded at the deadline, Corey.
He on the bench.
Brad, be careful. He might be a Steelers by mid-season, dog. I'm letting you know right now. Your coach love to say black QBs, man.
Hey, at this point, we need a backup and we need a possible future. So, I mean, we'll get to that conversation down the road. But, I mean, if there's anybody that can rehabilitate him, it would be Mike Tomlin. If there's somebody that guys are going to come in and ultimately respect, it's going to be Mike Tomlin. But
he needs a fresh start anyway.
He needs a fresh start. And it just has not worked in Indy. Indy is not the place for his skill set and what they want to do. And, I mean, let's be honest, they sold their soul for that Indiana Pacers running the finals. So, I mean, I don't know what they do from now on now. So, I mean, you know.
The crazy thing is we called this with AR-15 though. We called like, and I hate to say we called an injury, but we said like I wouldn't be surprised if he got injured.
We did.
And that's what happened because they ran him into the ground.
I felt like if Coach was smart, they should have held somebody in place for him to learn from, like they did with Jordan, Love. Because some QBs, I understand, like he's probably your most athletic player on your team. He can make plays, you know, he can run the football very well and all that other stuff. But if he's not running the system the way you want him to, and you just throw him out there and you want him to fix things, like some things some plays you just cannot throw out there and expect them to be great. Sometimes you just gotta sit them down and let them study the game. And like if he's not getting us right now, then we're not putting you in because we need certain play. Because remember, this is professionals. Like people's livelihoods are on the line depending on how you play a certain way. So you just can't be out there throwing, and then you out there, and then his dumbass sat himself out one game because he was tired. He was tired. So now it's like now you got players looking at you saying, it's like, bro, are you even here for us right now? Like
coaches questioning him, like, I mean, you say you sitting out because you're tired?
Yeah.
It's a professional football league. Like, paychecks are on the line. Like, it's different. Like,
I'm gonna tell you who they should have got and should have had him sit behind. And when I say this, y'all, I'm like, Jameis.
Jameis just will make the coach look just fun to watch. They might not win games. This just would have been fun to watch.
And he would have learned a lot. He would have learned how to be charismatic. He would have learned how to have a personality in the NFL. That's the type of bridge quarterback that you need. Like, no matter where Jameis has went, and we're going to get to him in a second. I'm not going to say too much on him. But no matter where he's went, he's been likable. He's been lovable. People just enjoy being around him. He is what you want your backup or what you want your bridge quarterback to be.
Yeah.
All right. And before we get to the AFC West, let's just go ahead and get to Brad's division. Let's go to the North real quick. We're looking at the North. 3 out of 4 teams are always ground. Cleveland, honestly, unless your door's playing, I don't give a fuck about this team. Myles Garrett, I'm glad you got your money, man. But you know you should try to force your way to DC. You should try to force your way to DC. But you know we got
my dog Grant Delpit though.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I care about. But go ahead.
My bad. Get your shout outs in. But you know, of course, you know the Ravens are probably going to be locked on favorites to win this division. You know we got Brad. You know your Pittsburgh Steelers. They brought in Aaron Rodgers. And everything. Y'all got DK Metcalf over there now, correct? Y'all got rid of y'all brought in one crash out wide receiver to get in another crash out wide receiver.
Exactly.
So
I really wanted to see them motherfuckers together, boy.
That would have been
y'all ruined a great opportunity for the culture, man, and I'm very disappointed.
Penalties on penalties.
But BT, we're gonna start with you because you know your boy Joe Burrow and your other boy Jamar Chase, some of LSU's finest out there. Look, man, we don't question the Bengals offense. We know they're gonna put up points, but man, how much does Joe have to do to carry that atrocious ass defense, man?
A lot. The nigga had to put 5,000 yards last year. Chase had the triple crown. Shit still didn't work.
Yeah, and he was hurt some game.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't really know what much more Joe can do and the offense can do, bro. Because if you imagine going out there knowing you got to score 30 points every game.
That's great.
Like talking about the pressure on your offense, bro. Like
knowing well, you can't punt at all.
Yes, you have to score on every single drive.
Because let me just for y'all to not understand how bad this defense is, because I think it was possible, but I think they actually regressed because last year it was all time bad. But then when they played my team in the preseason game, the Washington Commanders, the first drive we didn't pass the fucking ball at all. We didn't pass the ball at all and score a touchdown on that drive. I was like, hey, yo. So y'all tell me. I understand y'all finally gave Trey Hendrickson his money and everything, but honestly, the way y'all dealt with that man all for the past 2 off season, he's an unrestricted free agent next season. That man about gone. So and that's the reason why you drafted Stewart, and then y'all almost lost him because y'all didn't I didn't realize it through this offseason. They was like, yeah, they don't give rookies guaranteed contract. I say, what time period are y'all living in, man? Like. Hey, Bengals, man. Bengals, y'all proving to the world y'all a badly run organization, man. Like when 75% of your cap is going to 4 players and majority of them is on the offensive side of the ball.
Like that window ain't been so long because we thought they was gonna go back to the Super Bowl right after they went. Lost the round.
They almost did, but one dude mistake against that Kansas City Chiefs, man. And Hey, I know, man. But mistakes like that can be not just a season effect; it could last a few years because Joe was on that rookie deal. So yeah, you can house players in different positions on both sides of the ball. But once a player like him gets to that level, he's an MVP caliber quarterback now. So you gotta pay him, and then you brought in Jamar Chase, who's an MVP caliber wide receiver. Like top 5 in the game. He's not top. He probably damn near the best wide receiver in the game right now. Based off how you feel, but how do you run him or Jets? So basically, which LSU wide receiver do you want? Do you want Jets or do you want Chase?
Really is.
I know 1A, 1B. It don't matter. Wherever you want to put it.
Yo.
But to your Steelers, but my bad, BT.
No, you good. I don't really see the defense, like you said, it regressed, man. So I don't know what much more Joe can do besides throw for 5,500 yards this time.
And that offensive line, in that preseason game against the Commanders, the offensive line down here got him killed, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, bro, I'm like, he's still in the game. Y'all about to get this dude.
Yeah, that was malpractice. Malpractice. You take Jason Higgins out the game, but keep Joe Burrow in. What sense does that make?
Knowing he get hurt, you know what I'm saying? That's my dog, but he had an ACL injury before, and he had a hand injury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, come on, man.
That's the franchise wide there. Why are you leaving him in the game for it's a preseason game? Like, you got the whole regular season to look forward to. That didn't really make no sense at all.
All right, so Brad, Pittsburgh Steelers over under. Will y'all have more wins or more clip material from Aaron Rodgers interviews with Pat McAfee?
It's crazy when the game tape ain't number him.
And he talked to Pat every Tuesday, so
it'll probably be more. It'll be definitely more just media attention or media, quotes from Aaron Rodgers the entire year, because he's going to say something from the coaching staff to the offensive lines to the receivers not catching the ball. I'm waiting for that one time where DK Metcalf doesn't get the ball but 3 times, and he's constantly throwing it to the slot receiver, and DK just snaps on the sideline. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting for Tomlin to have to pull him off to the side and get him back in line. I'm waiting for the classic Arthur Smith quote from Aaron Rodgers talking about we can't do this or breaking down the offense on a Pat McAfee show on a Tuesday. I'm ready for all of it because it's about to be a sideshow to whatever's going to happen. Our schedule plays out to where we could easily have 10 to 11, 12 wins. But the problem to that is, how is this going to work itself out with Arthur Smith, Aaron Rodgers, this whole offense? What do they want to do? Because to start the year, we play the Jets. We play Seattle at home. We play New England, which we talked about earlier, who's kind of that team that is kind of could be on the rise, a young, youthful team playing up in New England.
That's a game.
Yeah,
that's going to be a game to kind of see where we are to that point. and then we play Minnesota and Ireland before a very early bye week. Then after that, it's the run of the usual suspects. It's Cleveland, it's Cincinnati, Green Bay, Colts. The games that always are going to give me headaches are Cincinnati, because they can put up the amount of points they put up. We went and we bolstered the back end by getting Slay, by getting Jalen Ramsey, yeah. But you're still going up against arguably one of the best receivers in the league, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That game can go either way. The Chargers are going to be interesting. That's my litmus test for them. By that time of the season, it's week 10. You should be used to each other. That game is the litmus test. It's in LA. It's a primetime game. You got another Harbaugh on the sideline. We've played against Harbaugh before. It's a Steelers home game. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
It's true. We're going to travel. It's going to be a Steelers home game. But the fact of the matter is, though, we still got to deal with Herbert. That Chargers team is, and we haven't got to that division, but I mean, they're a solid team.
Herbert going to get you out the ball. That's what he's going to do. Herbert going to get you out the ball.
If we can put pressure on Herbert, he will. He does.
It depends. No, it depends because, one thing about Harbaugh, he's going to try to get that run game going. So he's going to try to take the ball out of Herbert's game left.
He's definitely going to make it play action. We're going to run the ball and then play action, make easy throws for Herbert. And then, again, by that time, week 13, late November, it's a 4:00 game on CBS, probably one of the big-time games. We're going to play. We kind of got a gauntlet. This starts our gauntlet of, are we for real or are we not? Buffalo, Baltimore, a Miami team, which we should beat, and then at Detroit. That stretch right there tell me whether or not I need to have any hope for the playoffs. Because if we lose 3 of those games, then we're not for real. This is a lost season. We'll make the playoffs barely, probably a wild card team, and we'll slide in and probably get beat. If we're able to win 2 to 3 of those games, it might be a completely different story come week, 17, 18. A completely different story. So it really just depends at the end of the day on that stretch right there.
Yeah.
How's Buffalo looking at Baltimore? We play Miami at home and then having to play Detroit. A couple of teams in their playoff teams. So I think knowing Tomlin, knowing how this roster is constructed, this is really going to be on him trying to maximize this one, I think, final fleeting year of Rodgers' career, because I don't think he plays after this season, honestly. In my personal opinion, I think this is his swan song. He's not saying it. I think he'll sign a 1-day contract with the Packers, retire a Packer, and go off into the sunset. I think he's done after this year.
I'm talking about like retiring with the Packers. That bridge is burned.
You think it's burned that badly that he won't retire a Packer at all?
He burned bridges wherever he goes.
It's possible. I don't really see it. See it.
Maybe in the future. He like well in the future type thing. But while that coaching staff is there, I don't think so.
Okay. Nah, I get your point, yeah. But I think we have a chance to probably be, like BT and Dre have said, that Bengals defense is just it's slaw right now, other than Trey Hendrickson. He got his money, but he sacrificed giving him all the money, didn't really address a lot of the other areas on the defense. It's all going to be on Joe Burrow and the boys on the offensive side. I think we can maybe slide into that second place spot. The Ravens are just a juggernaut. You have Derrick Henry, you have Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
We always end up splitting, but this could be a year we get swept, depending on how Aaron Rodgers' mindset is. Who knows how we'll be those 2 games, but we always tend to split depending on who's home and who's away and stuff like that. And sometimes it's flip-flopped. But I can see us being second place in the division, no worse than third, because I don't know what that team in Cleveland, I don't even mention. They are a non-factor in the entire.
But with Cleveland, and this is something that I kind of want to ask you about the future after Aaron Rodgers, because man, your next quarterback might be on the Cleveland roster. Because I think by the time you play in week 17, you play at Cleveland, either Dylan or Shador will be starting, in my opinion, by that time. So I don't know. I know like that. I know like a lot of teams. I guess maybe the NFL. I don't know if it's true or not, but there was the rumor that everyone, the NFL front office told everybody to not draft Shador. I don't know how true that is or whatever, but I mean, you need a quarterback because Mason Rudolph is not the future, right? Is Mason Rudolph the future? I don't think so.
Just get Shador the ball, man. Just let Shador play, man.
I feel like
they didn't draft him.
I I was highly upset we didn't draft Shedeur.
I know you was. I
was highly upset. Didn't have no clue what was going on with that whole slide of him. And when we had two different opportunities to take when we didn't, I was kind of like, okay, obviously something's going on around the league. Like Dave said, I don't know if it was a memo or something like that, but something was said, or something's been plugged in all the NFL owners not to draft them. But my fear thing is you have Joe Burrow, you have Lamar. If Shedeur does end up getting to Cleveland and he's able to elevate Cleveland, then where does that put us? Because we only got Aaron Rodgers rental for 1 year. Where do we go after this year? And that's the thing I've had a problem with for the entire past 7 years is where do we go? We didn't do a good job of finding Big Ben's replacement when he was still playing. We definitely have not done a good job after he's done playing because we took small hands Pickett and that didn't work out. Little baby hands Pickett.
They got traded 3 times in 1 year, bro.
Exactly.
12 months.
Small hands Pickett. If he's your answer in Cleveland, go right ahead. It'd be funny lighting his ass up both games this year.
He in Oakland now.
I say he didn't get traded.
Yeah,
he's in Oakland now.
Yeah,
Great.
He's with the Raiders now. Yeah, he's with the
So
Raiders.
that just didn't work out. So I think that's going to have to be something that you can't tank this season because you went and got all these different players. You got DK Metcalf, mega deal, Rodgers, Ramsey, Slay. But you got to do something because you got to get that guy in there because you're playing in the division with 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league in Jackson and Burrow.
Gotta look at that front office, man.
Yeah, they starting to look funny in the light because it's like, what are y'all? You want to put all this money to the defense. Defense, yes, does win championships, but you got to put points on the board. And if you can't put 14, 15, 16 points on the board and expect
Hayward holding out too? Ain't Hayward holding out right now?
I think so. Not sure. I have to check. I know he was at one point. He's another one, but he's getting up there. We drafted his replacement. We have high hopes for the rookie D tackle we did replace. I can't think of his name right now. He's getting up there in age, but he still wants to have that kind of final contract and retire a Steeler. So, we got to deal with that as well. We got TJ Watt on the books. We got to get Hayward on the books. All
right. And just for the sake of time, so we can move on, because we all know how good the Baltimore Ravens roster is. So we just got to keep it simple, yes or no question. And this is going to be for everybody. Is this the year they get to the Super Bowl? Yes or no?
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I think it has to be for Lamar's legacy.
It has to be. It has to be.
For Harbaugh, Jackson,
everything is there.
They have to.
Everything is there. Everything is there. You got your receivers. Because now, Zay Flowers, if Zay Flowers can be healthy this time during the playoffs, that'd be great. I know that'd be a big help. Mark Andrews is still. I know he had a rough divisional round, but he's still a solid tight end. They got Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a serviceable wide receiver now. Derrick Henry. Maybe I don't know if he's gonna have the same year like he did last year, but he's still gonna be a good running back. And the defense is still gonna be good. And they're still well coached. It's still a well-ran organization. Now is the time. It was a time last year. It doesn't change. It's still the time now. It's still the time.
Okay. Because as of right now, we all know when it comes to the AFC, that thing still goes through Kansas City until said otherwise. So before we go to the NFC, let's take it out west real quick. Denver has improved, yes.
Fuck Sean
Chargers have improved.
Always.
Raiders have made some improvements, but is this still Kansas City's division to lose? Maybe they're not as dominant as they were the past few years, but we still see Kansas City making out this division.
And what's funny, bro? Let me say one thing real quick. The funny thing about the Kansas City Chiefs, bro, I haven't heard anything about them all offseason, bro. Besides
until yesterday.
Except that documentary, that's it. Except that doc.
Hey, that's the reason why. I hate to say it, I think they're gonna win this ring because The fix is in. My Aaron Rodgers. My conspiracy theory, real quick.
Oh,
The
Lord.
fix is in. They apparently got engaged like a few weeks ago or whatever it may be. So yes, this is all for press purposes. It's gonna be some type of documentary that's gonna follow his entire season.
You're right.
He's gonna retire at the end of the year. He's gonna get a ring.
Because we can see we can see it. He wanted to retire after the Super Bowl and propose to her there, but you know the way they got hold by Philly, man. Philly knew before we did. They was like, oh hell no, not on our watch.
Not on our watch. No.
I would say shout out to Philly with that, but fuck them.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, man. So you know, Pat Mahomes, you know, he got a black haircut now, so you know, I don't know how's that going to affect his play.
That's their superpower. Let's keep it real. Look at Steph. Steph be having them fucked up ass fades.
Hey.
But when he had a low, well, they had Katie that year. When he had a low, but
yeah.
Hey, when he could do anything that year, man.
Yeah, got it.
He could have had dread distinctions, and he would have been just fine.
Drake. We saw that lace front, my nigga. Before I get sued by Tupac.
Hey, yeah. So what's tough out here, man?
Yeah. Sure. Speak to that joint with spade.
Everybody in the AFC West got better, but it still goes to the Chiefs. So
yeah.
So you know, I know it's fuck Sean Payton, Corey, and my Panthers fans over here. I understand, but you know, Bo Nix, you know, he's part of that freshman class last year too. He had a good season. Do we see like a sophomore slump out of him? Do you see him still being consistent? What's your thoughts on Bo Nix year 2?
I think he's gonna be still consistent just because of the way he plays. He's not a guy that, I mean, we saw this in college with him, man. He doesn't go for like the big play. He's not like an explosive play type of guy. I mean, he's capable of it. We saw some of that last year, but he's a guy that likes to get the ball out of his hands quickly. You know, so I think like that is what works best for him. And I think like that's what Sean Payton and the team realizes. So I don't think there'll be much of a slump. He's obviously a game manager type of quarterback, but when you have a team like the Broncos, when you have a defense like they do, and you have Patrick Surtain, the reigning defensive player of the year, along with who they have, this is like one of the best. This is one of the best defenses in the league. I think like top 10 at least. Like they're gonna keep you in games, and as long as you're able to score enough points, you're gonna be fine. I don't think they're good enough to win a division. They're gonna be good enough to make the playoffs. I think just like we had last year, 3 teams from the AFC West. I think we might have three AFC West teams again, unless you know.
No, I can see that.
I think we're gonna get 3 from some division, either the North or the West. Like it's gonna be one of those.
Yeah. I completely understand that because I think Chargers they have a good coach and a good enough roster to make the playoffs again. Yeah. Denver, I feel the same way. I think when it comes to AFC wild card race, it's like what noise is the AFC East going to do? I think they're the one division that can make noise because Miami, they got some players, you know, they still got Tyreek Hill over there, but you know, it's dependent on how they do in the wintertime and what's Tua Tagovailoa injury and his availability status is going to be.
Yeah, and whether Tyreek Hill want to stay there.
Yeah, that's it. Like he might be on the block midseason too, because you know he got too many things going on in his personal life right now. You know, and then like we talked about before, and then like we talked before, the Patriots seems like they're going to be like that wild card team in the whole AFC picture, because you know the South just has too many questions right now, so they could possibly steal a position if they just win enough games outside their division. To make up for, you know, maybe not being able to beat the Buffalo Bills. But before we get out of this AFC, man, is it still going through Kansas City, or do y'all have another team that's going to represent the AFC in this year's Super Bowl?
I got the.
I hate to say it, but I really do think it's the Ravens' year. I think they can overcome it. It's this or now.
I will also say this as well. I may have the Ravens, but honestly, I would not be surprised if Buffalo actually finds a way
I
out.
I was gonna say I was like until Lamar, because Lamar, you're one of my favorite quarterbacks.
But
I have
he
all,
got his
but
number.
Lamar, but when you get to that divisional round and that AFC Championship game, I don't know, man. You have to prove it to me. You have to prove it to me that you're ready to take that next step and do wherever it has to take. And this is just not on you, because I know you be trying to ball out and you try to overcompensate for a lot of mistakes that the team does. But the Baltimore Ravens as a whole, as a staff, as an organization, y'all got to do whatever it takes to get to the Super Bowl this year. Y'all have probably the best roster in the league right now. Like, if we talking about top bottom, you got a multi MVP quarterback. You got vets at the wide receiver position now. You got King Henry, one of the best running backs of all time, in my opinion. You got a good defense. You just paid Kyle Hamilton a good payday in your secondary. You're always going to have respectable linebackers and no-name linebackers. You got a good defensive line. Special teams might be a question mark because, as we know, our boy, he's no longer the kicker for the Baltimore Ravens. He's actually still a free agent. He on that Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
he on that Deshaun Watson.
Like week 10, week 12, when he's off suspension, he won't get picked up.
So we see what happens. Me personally, I think until it's done, it still goes through Kansas City. If they don't win the number 1 seed and get that playoff bye, I feel like Kansas City, until somebody on the AFC side knocks them out of the playoffs outside of Burrow and Tom Brady's not suiting up anytime soon, I think it still runs through Kansas City until somebody like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson finally wants to decide enough is enough and get over that hump, unless a new QB. But with that, man, let's go over to the NFC and let's stick to the West, because I think this is probably another easy division. We got the Rams, we got Seattle, the 49ers, and the Arizona Cardinals. Honestly, depending on Stafford's health, because he's dealing with back issues, this was like a team that's gearing up for another playoff run. They probably feel like they was a couple plays away of beating the eventual Super Bowl champ Philadelphia Eagles. So they coming in probably with one of those chips on their shoulders, like, man, that should have been us. They bringing in Devontae Adams. They still got Puka Nacua over there. They should still have a solid run game. They got a good defensive line, especially with Jerry Verse coming out of Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think the Rams are probably going to be overwhelming favorites. 49ers, they still dealing with injuries over there. Right now, he's not going to start the season. What else? McCaffrey, he's coming back from injury, so we got to see how he's going to do. McCaffrey has some high usage years coming into the season. And, Brock Purdy, he's got paid, but we just got to see if he's worth the money that the 49ers gave him. So, but to me, it's just like, I think the Rams are overwhelming favorites unless Stafford's going to miss a lot of games because he gets hit wrong with the back injury or anything. Quick pick. Anybody else got anything to say about the division before we move on?
Exactly.
I am going to keep an eye on Seattle. I'm going to keep an eye on Seattle because we know Cooper Kupp went over there. It's Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba, the other wide receiver. And Seattle, I guess, like from what I remember, who I think is on their roster, they still got a lot of young defensive players. A lot of guys that kind of came on the scene like a couple years ago. And then running back, I think is kind of by committee with Walker and I think somebody else. I think what was it, Chardonnay or something like that?
Yeah, Charbonnet.
Charbonnet. They're a team to look out for. I don't know if they gonna eclipse the Rams, but they might make it interesting.
They're gonna make it difficult, if anything. They're gonna make it difficult. But
this is all gonna depend on one guy, Sam Darnold or Scam Darnold. It's gonna depend on him, bro. It's all gonna depend on him, man.
That's why I said no.
Yeah,
I might be. That's why I'm like, It's null and void.
The only thing I do, just before we leave, is I'm interested to watch the Cardinals because of two players, Marvin Harrison Jr., to see what year 2 looks like for him, and because they was able to draft Will Johnson because he's sliding the draft, and for what they say coming out of camp, he's been locking that man up all camp. Yeah. And he's looking right now. He's CB2 on the depth chart, but they poised to make him CB1 soon. So I just want to see how Arizona been trying to rebuild that team after these last couple of drafts. So we'll see where they at with Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., and a lot of these other young pieces they built around him. So we'll see about that. But going for the West, let's go out north real quick. This division is going to be very intriguing this season. A lot of good football players coming out of this division. We had the Detroit Lions winning the division last year, but they lost 2 of their offensive coordinators to coaching opportunities. But they do get some of their A-plus players back, especially on the defensive side. So they get Hutchinson. They get Hutchinson back.
Yeah.
But you still got Green Bay. Green Bay, they kind of looked like they took a step back last year, and then unfortunately Christian Watson tore his ACL during this training camp season, during the preseason. Vikings, Jess is always going to do Jess things, but they poised to start J.J. McCarthy out there. And then, of course, we got the Bears, who took one of the coaches from Detroit Lions. Ben Johnson is now the head coach over there. He's going to try to change the narrative of Caleb Williams' career after a kind of a shaky rookie year.
He got gray hair now.
Who Caleb Williams?
Nah.
No, the coach.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I've been seeing the post. I keep an eye on them.
Hey man, you just building your case of slander for them, bro. I respect it.
He got a backlog.
I respect it. I left all that shit in Iraq with the war of terrorism.
But I know we got a lot to talk about with these next 2 divisions. So we're gonna try to keep this quick. Who should I pick to win the division, and is there anything or any player that we should look out? Me, I'm gonna go off the ledge and say Green Bay might take it this year. I feel like Detroit. I feel like Detroit might take a little bit step back, but they might surprise me. I don't think they have that same aura like they did last year, where it was like, damn, they might stomp through everybody for real.
Yeah,
man.
And you know how normally it is. Whenever you lose both your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator, you normally take a step back.
Yeah.
I was thinking Green Bay too, just for that reason. I was like, Detroit losing both their coordinators. I'm sliding in Jordan Love and the Packers into that. I think they might come out that division. I think Detroit will be right there, but I think the Packers.
Exactly.
But I think this is a division that can have multiple teams come out of it to make the playoffs for sure. Yeah, I think Detroit and Green Bay.
For sure. I think.
Who's your third team, Dave? Who's your third team, Dave?
Detroit, Green Bay, and I'm gonna say Chicago, man.
Okay.
Nah, I got them getting. They got 2, and I'm not saying this as like no hate towards Chicago. They got 2. And the main reason why I say that is because when we get to the NFC East, the NFC East gonna get 2 out.
At least.
2. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
I had 2. I had Green Bay and Detroit. I just don't think Chicago is gonna be able to get enough wins to slide in.
Because I do think San Fran is gonna make it as well. That's the reason why I'm saying it that way. That's why I don't think they're gonna get. That's why I don't think that the North gonna get 3.
Okay. For the second time, we're gonna come back next episode, and I know it's gonna be after week 1 and everything, but we're gonna talk about French wildcard teams just based off roster and what we see after week 1. They kind of say if we're gonna stick with this team, that's gonna be the only time we're gonna choose a French team. And it's like, all right, you gotta push your chips on this team, or you can pull out, pause, and then push these chips on another team and put your chips on another team. Now, I like some people on this panel. I catch myself, BT. We don't gotta worry about that. We don't gotta worry about that. We got to worry about that. We good. We Gucci over here. But what's that said? I'm gonna say the South for last. Cause I know y'all got a lot to talk about, especially what happened in today's news today. So I'm gonna talk about my NFC East, especially my boys, the football team in Washington. You know what I'm saying? Early day, give my boys Scary Terry got that contract extension finally. so we can put all that noise to bed. Stressful all season. Cause I was like, man, I know y'all ain't about to get rid of my boy for some BS like 3rd round draft pick and anything. So for real, like not only he's just a good player, like he's a very good person just to have in your locker room. He's a great captain. So I feel like just trading him away because of a few $1 million that I feel like he was deserving of would have just been a wrong move, especially all the momentum we've been building up with this team starting from last year, getting rid of the owner, bringing a new ownership. We drafted Jaden Daniels. And so we're building a lot of good momentum. So we didn't need like that cloud of Scary Terry, having that contract lingering over him during the season, everything. We got that taken care of now, so we can move forward. But yeah, this division is going to be all gas, no brakes, man, because quite honestly, this is the only division that I looked at outside a possible case of maybe 4 teams making it. Possibly, yes.
Has that ever happened? We had all 4 teams from one division win?
Not yet.
I don't think that's happened before.
No. I don't think that's never happened.
I don't think that's happened before.
It hasn't happened, but we can get close to it because the usual suspects. The Eagles. I hate to say it, but they might. That's what they're gonna be the front runners for this division this year again, more than likely. And you
got no running back.
Huh?
Cowboys ain't got a running back.
Hey man, they're gonna fuck around and not have no defense if they don't pay Michael Parsons.
I understand that, but don't overlook the mystique of regular season Cowboys football because they will all especially when they're not hyped, especially when people are writing them off. That's when they come to have that little bounce back here and they be like, oh, they're going to run off like 10, 11 wins. Dak was going to somehow get like fringe QB MVP discussion because he's going to have a high touchdown, low interception rate, anything. But do the Cowboys scare me like they did last year? No, because it seems like it's more turmoil going in, and I just don't know how they're going to deal with their new coach because, again, they're dealing with another pushover at their coaching position. But
y'all know who
who the coach is?
No, who their running back is.
Yeah.
Isn't it the?
It's not Dowdle because we.
Yeah. We
got Dowdle. Yeah.
So who is the runner? Is it the rookie?
Think what my old Twitter name was.
Game.
Wait, hold on. Who?
Miles Sanders.
Wow.
Oh no! It's Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams.
They got Miles Sanders. I didn't know that.
They do. He's second on the depth chart. He's second. He on there.
Man, fuck him. That's the answer, Corey. Corey, that's the answer. Corey, that's the answer. Fuck him. Fuck him. But for my agenda, let me stay with me real quick because this is the first time the division is going to boast black QBs at all four teams. Especially if Russell Wilson finished the season off. We don't know when that transition to Jackson Star is going to happen. But the Giants, I will say, they do have one of the better defensive lines this year. They have another great LSU wide receiver and Neighbors. And then I feel like even Russell Wilson at this stage of his career was better than anything they had going on with Daniel Jones. Yeah. So respectfully, this Giants team is going to be a team that everybody should look at because don't worry. I know they won all the preseason games, but like Corey alluded to earlier, this is a team that has Jameis Winston on it. He bringing good vibes to the locker room. He's going to keep people honest. He is a talented quarterback, and he's going to fuel not only Russell Wilson but Jackson Dart as well. Like he's not a hater. He's going to take any opportunity that comes his way. But there's talent on that Giants roster. It's just all about bringing it together. And I feel like there's talent in Dallas because they brought in the wide receiver from Pittsburgh. They brought in Crash Out. So, we just got to see how's that all going to come together because both of those wide receivers are divas and I'm going to want the ball. So can Dak manage that? Because, sometimes he get a little too quiet for my life. Well, of course,
But
ahead,
final thought here. I need the Commanders to win the division because one, we need a playoff game in DC, and two, the Eagles fans been talking too much for my liking. So that's all.
no, respectfully, I agree with you, Dave. I do want to, but and this is why I want to talk to my Commanders fan base, my Washington, everybody been there. Last year was magical. I know last year was magical, and we added Deebo Samuels, we added Larry Tunsil. I'm glad we did draft another left tackle who's probably going to play right tackle, and Carney from Oregon. I feel like we got Trey Amos at a good spot in the second round to kind of bolster the defensive the defensive the DB position. The defense. We bring in Lou back. We got Wagner still. I think they're going to help with the linebacker position. I just don't like what we did with D-line. D-line is still going to be sus, and we wasn't really great at stopping the run game, in my opinion. And then we didn't bring in one of our best pass rushers for last year. He went back to Dallas. So it's going to be interesting to see how, Dan Quinn, who's a defensive-minded coach, is going to do with the defensive side of the ball. Because right now it's looking like he put a lot of stock on making sure we upgrade our offense because just like last year, we're going to have to put some points up on the board because the defense might be a liability this year. Because I'm happy we made it to the NFC Championship. Don't get me wrong, but I understand that, there was some breaks that went our way. And also that Jaden Daniels has to carry a pretty mid to bottom tier roster overall. We had great players, but overall, the roster still has some work that needs to be done. And, it's because, Ron Rivera left us with bad players that we pretty much released almost every single player from his tenure. We don't have a young core like that. That's why we have a lot of older free agent signings on our team. And then we just got to deal with this Philadelphia Eagles team. And because of what's been going on in the media with the Jalen Hurts agendas and discussions and everything, he probably one of the quarterbacks, even though he just won a Super Bowl, he might be coming out there trying to prove a point because it's like, damn, he's not even top 10 in the NFL top 100 ranking. He just came up with a Super Bowl MVP. They talking to him like he's a system quarterback and everything. And I believe he's one of the reasons. I know he didn't have the stats that are eye-popping, but I really feel like he's proven that he's a top-tier quarterback in this league and should be respected as such. So, I know they lost some players and free agents like most Super Bowl teams do, but they still got pretty much all the great players that they assembled over the last few years on that team. So, not only should they probably going to be favorites to win the division, they might be favorites to win the whole conference, in my opinion. So,
yeah.
Shout out
Cooper DeJean, though. Shout out Cooper DeJean.
But I'm hoping Jaden Daniels, in no sophomore slump, that he takes that lead and show that he's ready to take over the lead and, be that quarterback that we know that he can possibly be destined for greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like
but this NFC East we're back as a whole. The division, I think we're back. I think we're gonna give y'all some exciting football from our division, man. I think we're top to bottom, the best division in the conference, and arguably one of the best divisions in both sides, in my opinion, quite frankly. So we're just gonna have to see how everything looks by the time we get to the playoff race.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Good way to put it.
So, man, how y'all feeling about y'all Panthers and y'all in the South, man, as a whole?
Corey?
Start us off.
I love this. I love this because we got two spectrums on this panel, but we got Mr. Positive and then Mr. Show Me Something.
I'm not overly positive. I like what an offense can be, but I'm not overly positive. Defense gonna be ass. I'm not even gonna hold you. I already said that. Defense is gonna be ass. The best room, honestly, is probably gonna be our quarterback room. Cornerback room is probably going to be the best room on that defensive side. Well, outside of those first three, it's just
D-line.
I don't know. I like the offensive line room.
No, I'm talking on the defensive side of the ball.
Defensive side, okay.
Yeah. Defensive side of the ball, yeah.
The defensive line, long as the defense, to me, this is the positive part of it. long as the defensive line can hold everything together and they can get after the quarterback, the cornerbacks can stay with whomever their assignments are at wide receiver, and they don't let the ball go over the top. I don't give a fuck who we got back there at safety. The linebackers can roll. Yeah. Hell no. That's what I'm saying. You're right. Poor Nick Scott seeing the fucking field. Like him seeing the field is equivalent to Colin Jones being back in Carolina. And
God damn.
If anybody knows, Colin Jones is like my second most hated Carolina Panther of all time. Number one is that fat bitch Matt Rule.
The strays are coming. The strays are coming.
Hey.
Colin Jones is one of them, but mine, I'll let you keep going. And I seen this nigga today on the Panthers channel, fucking Roman Hopper, dog. Like, why the fuck did we get this nigga? Like, you're not a Panther, bro.
Doing what,
bro.
per
He
se?
was there for 1 year.
He was there for 2.
2 years.
But still, you're not a Panther.
He used to be selling. He used to be selling every time we played New Orleans. He'd be selling like a bitch. He was selling ass out there. That's what he was doing.
Like, he had an OnlyFans cord.
He didn't need no OnlyFans. This shit was for free.
Oh my god.
You're not a Panther, bro. Take that shit off, bro. Go back to the Saints, nigga. We don't
I don't know that's safe.
Be trash. Archavis is not coming out this year. And I know the fans are saying, "Well, we're gonna be trash again next year." Trust me. If there's one thing I learned, that Manafana got power over this league, bro. They got Daniel Jones they put Daniel Jones in the goddamn New York, man. They don't think they're gonna try to tell whatever team they wanted their golden goose to go to. Look, man, they're gonna avoid New Orleans. You're better off trying to get a D tackle or some other QB because
between Joe Kennedy's political power and my prayers, Archavius ain't going there.
Oh man, the war on quarterbacks has begun for Corey.
The Saints might as well go ahead and just let DJ Langley go there.
Dave's war on terrorism talk was bad.
It's about to be terrible.
It's about to be.
All right, and before we get back to y'all, who has the better chance of winning this division? Is it the Falcons with new QB Michael Penix, or is it going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield? You know, they still got Mike Evans. Chris Godwin got the new contracts coming back. He should be healthy coming into the season. They drafted another wide receiver. What's his name? They got another wide receiver. They got Yeah. So wide receiver room looking really good over there in Tampa Bay. But as always, the Atlanta Falcons got all this talent, got all these athletes and shit, and don't do nothing with it, man.
Raheem Morris, yeah.
I said it last year. I'm saying it again. Coaching is going to be their downfall. They should easily be a 12 or 13 win team.
I hope y'all win the division this year. I don't really fuck with anybody else on that division. I might as well pay them to spend the way I literally have beef with every other team on that division. It's fuck the Buccaneers. It's fuck the Atlanta Falcons. It's definitely fuck the New Orleans Saints. So it's like,
Look, man. This is why we're cousins, bro.
Hey, y'all know. Hey, I took those games personally last year. When we lost to the Bucs the first time, I was like, "Fuck this shit." But when we saw each other in the playoffs, I knew it was up. When we beat the Saints, I was like, "Yeah." When we beat the Falcons to get to the postseason, I was like, "Yeah, fuck niggas. Yeah, that's what a real QB looks like. Now that's a quarterback. Now that's what a black QB is supposed to look like." And matter of fact, fuck the Falcons, man. They got that bum ass draft pick that got this year, and BT know he's with somebody that's real good. Fuck him. I'm a hater. I'm hating. Fuck him, man. I hope he don't I hope he don't register a sack. I hope he don't register a tackle for loss. Matter of fact, I hope he do lose something. I hope the game gets real dirty for him. Yeah, I'm hating, man. Matter of fact, somebody go ahead, man. Before I'm about to get started. I was pissed I was pissed draft night. I was so pissed. I was like, ain't no fucking way, man.
Yeah.
So I learned something else about Raheem Morris recently that I did not know before. A few weeks ago. Y'all know what type of guy he is?
Republican. Somebody talk about the Panthers, please. I'm done with the Falcons, man. Y'all got it. You got it, Corey. You got it, Corey. Talk. Al Thielen got traded to the Vikings. Y'all go ahead, man. Y'all go ahead, man. Bryce Young got confidence again, man. Y'all go ahead, man. Y'all go ahead. Something, man.
I really hope the guy who got drafted late in the round for Carolina, Jimmy Horn, gets his shine. I think he's going to be a revelation as like a third receiver. They maybe possibly get more targets and stuff like that for Carolina.
Man,
I feel like Bryce is going to take a leap.
Sign Hunter Renfrow, bro.
So I don't know if y'all saw the post. I don't know if y'all saw the post that I put on Facebook, but that pretty much what was going on. They before they cut him, they was like, "Hey, stay by the phone. We're gonna work out some stuff. Don't worry about it." Da 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 da. Apparently, he didn't have to go through the waiver wire with him being a veteran. Mm-hmm. He was able to just be cut, and he doesn't have to do any type of negotiation with any other team. So that's the reason why they trust to cut him. And they're going to be working out a contract with him. They knew that they were going to be trading Adam Thielen. That's the reason why they were comfortable with cutting him and not having to worry about him going through the whole offseason process. So he's going to be coming back. He's going to be that vet in the room. Unfortunately, we still got David Moore. And I understand now more and more why David Moore is still here. He's that guy that knows the playbook. He's been with Canales for most of his career. So he can teach a Jalen Coker. He can teach a XL and also a Tech how to T-Mac, how to actually run the plays, make sure that the routes are straight and everything of that sort. Also teaching a Jimmy Horn Jr. I completely understand that. That's the reason why he's here. I don't expect him to see the field as much, especially when you got those three big bodies, and also you have hopefully Hunter Renfrow coming back. That's going to be your possession receiver.
Yeah. I mean, you keeping, kind of just staying even keel, man. I mean, I need to see it. I need to see what it looks like, when the lights are on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the back end, like the secondary, other than J.C. Horn, I don't really have a lot of hope in the secondary. I think everything else.
Morgan or whatever his last name is, the safety.
Yeah,
he liked that. Yeah, him and Latham, right? What was his name? Latham.
Yeah, I don't really trust him that shit either. He a rookie, so I got what he's gonna do.
Yeah, but every other spot. Cool. I mean, like, if we get quick, 7 wins, cool.
Okay, I was about to say so for you, Dave, you say 7. Corey, BT, what's y'all win mark for this year's Panther squad?
It has to be 7.
7.
Okay.
It has to
be 7 and 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't expect anything else, bro. The Bucks don't win the division.
I was gonna say, Dave, pull up the schedule real quick. I was gonna say 7.
Yeah, we can go. Yeah, we can go through the schedule real quick. Yeah. I mean, shit. 1 second.
Because I honestly just want to see Bryce Young do well. I think after what he went through last season, if beginning of last year wasn't real good for our boy. They had to sit him down to get his mind right, but when he got back in, he looked like the quarterback that was at Alabama, that was the eventual number 1 overall pick, and the reason why y'all traded up for. So I'm hoping with new wide receivers in the room, him just becoming more of a leader in that locker room, that he keeps that confidence, and he kind of shows out this year. Year 3. I kind of hope that whole friendship does well. We all know, and I know BT probably, Jay and Daniels, Bryce, and CJ, they got that friendship because they all came from Cali. They kind of know each other, train with each other. So I kind of hope all 3 really have good seasons this year.
Yeah. I would say pertaining to our schedule, it's a lot of momentum games that we have. And what I mean when I say momentum games, if we string together some wins, I could see us possibly winning more than 7. That's if we string together like early in the season. Obviously we got Jacksonville. I think that we're gonna beat Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Then after Jacksonville, I can't remember. Is that Cardinals? No, that's not Cardinals.
That's Arizona.
Yeah,
That's
Arizona.
Arizona.
That's a tricky one. Man.
Arizona too.
That's a tricky one.
Game is tricky because we've had Arizona's number for years. Like
last year.
For whatever reason, like Arizona can't beat us. So that's why it's tricky. I want to give us off that alone. Because I think that we could have found a way to actually win that game. But let's see. Then after that, it is
Falcons.
Now
that's the home opener.
Now that is the one that I'm saying that's a momentum game. If we somehow find a way to win that game, that's when like we're gonna start not feeling ourselves, but we're gonna start having that confidence, and we're gonna start being able to roll off a couple, even if we lose. Because I think New England is right after that. If we somehow win that game, exactly. We got winnable games. We have winnable games at that point, and it becomes a lot of momentum games. Because Dallas would be another momentum game at that particular point, where it's like, all right, cool, you feel good.
Y'all definitely got some teams that honestly, because you got the same twice. I think y'all gonna dub them both times.
Yeah.
So y'all definitely got some teams on the schedule where it's like it's gonna be hard fought games, but if I think of like who I'd rather have the ball at certain situations, games probably gonna be Bryce for real. So like he showed enough for me last year that he can win a football game down the stretch.
If we get the Bryce that played against Philly and Kansas City, I like us in most games.
I'm about to say the only game where I feel like I could literally just say that's that's a 80 to 90% L would be like maybe Buffalo.
No, and even though maybe in it, we're gonna lose to Buffalo. I'm not even.
That's okay. Yeah, you got Buffalo, Buffalo, then add Green Bay back to back. I was like, okay, but everything else in your schedule is like, you can possibly see this. Like, okay,
you can see a way for it to happen. And it's not. I'm not speaking from a point of being a fan. I'm speaking from a point of I saw what Bryce can do. That's what I'm speaking on. I know what Bryce can do, and I know what the talent might have. And if once again,
Buffalo, and Green Bay are like the only two teams that are like, these are like probably teams that are like a class or two over where y'all at right now. Exactly, but everybody else is like, this is a toss up. We don't know about New England yet for real, and y'all get them early in the season. So that them early season games are like toss up because people are not really playing that much in preseason. They still trying to figure out their schemes and stuff, try to figure out their identity. So you can sneak a win.
They got a Drake Maye, a young quarterback on top of that too.
Yeah.
Young quarterback, he's getting all of these weapons. He still doesn't know all of these weapons. He has to identify who his favorite, and even if he goes to his favorite too much, does a JC Horn stay with his favorite? Does JC pick him off a couple times, make him lose confidence? It's a lot of question marks that goes into those early games like that, like Dre was saying. But even when we get down to later in the season, someone like a San Francisco, honestly, San Fran don't scare me. They lost a lot. They lost a lot for me to be scared. And I'm not going to say Purdy going to give the ball away. I'm not going to say that at all.
It's a Monday night, man. Monday night game. That's going to be big.
I like the fact that like Carolina has that late bye week because then by then everything's kind of been figured out and you kind of get that rest period to come in and go ahead and just, wax New Orleans and then probably, those two Tampa Bay games late in the season, could be, depending on how, like Corey said, the early part of the season goes, those games might be critical of who wins the division, depending on how some of these other games go and what some of these other teams do, what Atlanta does and things of that nature. Having that late bye week can kind of give you, okay, this is the lay of the land going into the last 4 weeks. What we need to do to kind of maybe either take that next step or assess and see what we got for next year.
Yeah,
I can definitely see more than 7.
I would like to be in wild card battling position.
Yeah. I would like to be in one of those scenarios where some stuff can happen.
Yeah, week 15. I want to be in that type of scenario. That would be ideal.
Yeah, that'd be respectful for y'all, for real.
I would love to see that.
But all right, fellas, we coming up on time, so we talked about the NFC. is this the Eagles to lose? Or are they going to be y'all favorites to win the NFC? Or is there another team that y'all looking at that like possibly can represent the NFC in the Super Bowl?
It's the Eagles.
It's the Eagles. If not the Eagles, then I got y'all. JD5.
Yeah.
You know who my pick is if everything goes right? The Rams.
I was about to
I think
I had Eagles
Third.
1 and 2.
yeah.
I have the Rams. And Matthew Stafford can play 80% of his snaps, and they get a good enough. Maybe if they get like a top 2 seed, I think they can really do it because I think Devontae Adams still got maybe a year or two of being at a high caliber wide receiver level, and he's playing with a great quarterback this season. And then I think they still got a great offense. I just think they just need to stay healthy, make sure Matthew Stafford stays upright. And then I think their defense is going to be improved from last season. I think this is going to be one of those hungry contention teams because they got a chip on their shoulder. They feel like they got they was like in a couple plays away. Yeah, I got them. Yeah, BT, I appreciate the love because we could go. I just want us to have a winning record. I think that's the next step for our organization because we always had like these miraculous seasons where it's like, oh, we came out of nowhere, because nobody was really looking at it. Now it's like, now that we got the targets on our back, it's like, okay, can we still get 9 to 10 to 12 wins again because we finally got that quarterback.
That culture of consistency
where
I'm like Corey, y'all are building it in the
because,
right way, in the right direction.
Because we do have a tough schedule, so we're really going to see what Jay and Daniels is capable of year 2. But I feel like we got at least definitely. I feel like we got pieces of defense and definitely the offensive side of the ball too, where we could be competing in a lot of games. I think Jay Daniels, he's really focused, and I like how he was talking to Austin, like he was real pissed not to be in that Super Bowl last year. I think he's not cocky. I think he's coming in with a lot of confidence, and you could tell that the team is rallying behind him, and the city is rallying behind him. Sort of like how it was kind of like when John Wall was here. He's like he got that over where it's like a lot of different eras of fans are like really rocking with him. Yeah, I really can't wait to see what we working with year 2. I for the sake of argument, I think I'm gonna give the Rams a shot just because I feel like they was kind of close last year. I'm gonna give them a shot. Eagles, they definitely gonna be the dominant team. I just don't know if Saquon gonna have a repeat of last year. He probably gonna have a little bit of a drop off, but he's still a good running back. But that Madden curse is filthy, man. That Madden curse is filthy. That Madden curse is 50, man. I think only maybe one person dodged that joint, and that's not a good win percentage against that Madden curse. So we just got to see, man. But I think we're due for an interesting football year, man. A lot of people couldn't wait for the season. A lot of good storylines. But yeah, it's going. We're just going to see who else is going to be out there that's going to try and win another Lombardi Trophy, man. But before we wrap it up, man, anybody got any final thoughts about the NFL season before we do some shout outs?
Nah, man, we
ready
covered everything, bro. Just ready to start the season, man.
I need to know
Anything
who I
can
need to
happen
put
on
on
NFL
my
Sunday, man. Just wait to see what happens.
I need to know who I need to put on my future parlays. That's all I need to know. Y'all send me,
Oh yeah,
send me y'all parlays, send me y'all future.
Yeah, put it. Hey, yeah, man. Who should be drafted on the? Go in the comments. Who should we draft in the fantasy league? Who should we put in the parlays, man? Anytime touchdowns, all that. Let us know, man.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of fantasy, because y'all know I've been in this guillotine league for the past few years now. Man, why they up it to 16 teams?
Fuck.
Good Lord.
Draft was last night. When I tell y'all I was sweating bullets in that bitch, boy.
I know he was.
16 teams. I know you had to be.
My draft is on Saturday.
I'll be pissed when I see 10 niggas in the league, man. 16? Fuck out of here.
We only got 16.
The thing is, the thing, right? Because y'all know it's normally that one person that will fuck up a draft. Everybody was in there with a plan, and they was executing their plan. So I'm like, shit, how this gonna go?
Shoot, my draft
Godspeed, my nigga. Yeah, my draft like sometime during Labor Day, man. I don't know. I'm just gonna do my best like I do every year.
2 days before the season start. Yep. God bless.
I don't know if I'm even going to jump in mine this year like I did last year. Ended up winning it. I don't know if I'm going to jump back into it.
Retire on top. I feel it.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to talk to the general manager of that league, see if he even doing it this year. But yeah.
Well, shoot, before we wrap it up, what we tell these people since you're back, Dave?
And you already know I'm about to say, man, make sure you subscribe to the pod, like, share, and subscribe. You know, if you like this episode, make sure hit that like button, hit that follow, subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that button right there at the bottom of your screen. Follow us, whether you're watching it or listening. We appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, whatever the case may be, your favorite podcast streaming platform, make sure you follow us and stay tuned with us on there. Follow us on Instagram, X, Facebook. We're on there as well, giving, some great content. We had some of the fellas, Dre and T, out in Brazil not too long ago. There's going to be more content on the way. One of us is going to be at a sporting event sometime soon. Just stay tuned on what that's going to be. The weather's getting a little colder. We're getting a little closer to that sports equinox where we have football, basketball, hockey, baseball happening all at the same time. Baseball is winding up. I know Corey and BT don't really want to talk about baseball right now.
Right now.
They've been on the little streak.
Let's not talk about that right now.
They've been on the little streak.
Yeah,
No, we appreciate y'all, man. We trying to get another draft pick this year, man. We appreciate y'all.
Happy doing business with you.
Get 1 month closer towards the postseason, and shout out U.S. Open, my guy like Tiafo and others.
Yes, sir.
Last night, shout out to her.
Yeah, Coach. Three set through, man.
She looked a little rough. She looked a little shaky, but shout out to Coco. She got through the first round. Shout out to Venus at 45 for playing the first round. Going to 3 sets with the player in the world. Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to the real tennis players that don't need our only fan to get by, man. Shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah, true, man. And
$1,000 for a day is crazy. Y'all niggas a simp out here, bro. Fuck out of here.
Oh, true. Yeah, I did hear about that.
Y'all niggas is goofy for doing that. If y'all submit $1,000 for a deposit for that BS, man, y'all niggas is goofy for that. Goofy ass behavior.
Yannick Sinner, you still a terrorist. We ain't forgot what happened at Wimbledon, bro. I already know.
Baby forgot.
Yeah, you're still a terrorist, but that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, man, more content on the way. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
For our next episode.
Big fights in September as well, so look out for stuff about that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that when that comes around, man. Hopefully, keep back on so we can get some Boston content. But before we leave the pod, I do want to give a special shout out to the Moms, man. They got me tickets to the Atlanta Dream versus Dallas Wings game this Friday because I'm gonna be in the A for that. So for the sporting content, you be definitely on the lookout for that. Definitely look at our Mean Tees content from Brazil. We definitely checked out the Olympic museum out there since Olympics was in Rio in 2016, so we definitely have to check that out. But like they say, man, look, that content coming back soon, man. You don't know where we're gonna be at, man. I just gave y'all a little preview of when the stuff was gonna be at, man. So be on the lookout for us. We're gonna be everywhere, man. Look, man, this might be a different economy, but that shit don't stop over here, bro. We're gonna be in somebody's gym. We're gonna be in somebody's field. We're gonna be giving y'all this stuff, giving you this insight in. And of course, look out for future episodes where you bring back some of the homies to give y'all some insider scoops on certain teams, certain players and stuff. Hey, man, football season's back, man. We got a good slate of college football games coming up this weekend. We got Texas Ohio State at noon just to kick us off. YouTube TV, they wasn't going to be on that fuck shit this weekend. They knew they wasn't trying to lose them subscriptions, man. They wasn't trying to lose the customers, bro. It was coming. And
they do this BS every year.
Every year. But BT, BT, because trust and believe, if Bama's was like on Thursday, they was like, oh yeah, we ain't gonna be with Fox this weekend. They would have lost thousands of people. Because look, man, you can't mess around and have people not watch one of the biggest college openers in history, man. Like
exactly.
Number one, number three.
They made the government step in on that. The FCC
Exactly.
like, hey Google, fix this.
Exactly. They were like, hey, fix that now.
But yeah, man. But yeah, definitely be on the lookout, man. The boys, we always going, man. We ain't stopping anytime soon, man. Football season is here. We got Dallas versus the Eagles to kick off this NFL season. Hey, after week 1, we're gonna be back in tow, man. So hey, man, just be ready for this content for this upcoming season. And as always, we appreciate y'all listening, man. It's your boy, the host, Drake from PG. We got my boy C Note. We got D, Dr. Esquire Day. We got our boy, the GM. And of course, we got 910's finest, my boy BT, man. This is Assassin 4. We appreciate y'all. We out. Fuck them Saints. Fuck them Saints.
What he
Fuck
said.
them Saints.
What he said.
Shout out to Dre. Happy birthday, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
My nigga, bro.